The number one productivity hack that has the potential to skyrocket someone's business and their life is one that most people have actually already heard of. And they admit it's a great idea. But the problem is, they're not doing it. Hi there, and welcome. I'm Joan Posivy, host of the Side Hustle Hero podcast, the show that is laser focused to inspire you to start or to scale your side hustle income streams. For today's episode, I've paused our lineup of awesome side hustle heroes in order to jump in and share my number one productivity hack with you. It has the potential to make a profound positive impact on the results that you're getting in your business and in your personal life. But here's the thing. When you hear it, you may think, oh yeah, I know that. And if you hear yourself saying that, then ask this: am I doing it? Is it truly part of your day? Because there's a huge difference between knowing and doing. We can know a lot of things. We can have a highly developed intellect, but if we don't step out and act on those ideas that we feel are going to help us, we're not going to get the results that we want in life and that we're truly capable of achieving. We're not paid for simply what we know. We're paid for what we do with what we know. I was one of those people who, for a long time, knew of this hack, but I didn't use it consistently. Until one day, something just clicked, and I thought, damn, I know this is a great idea. When I've used it in the past, I've had awesome days. So I thought, I'm going to start using it consistently. And I was shocked at how much more important work I actually got done in a day, which of course improved my results. And I felt so much better at the end of the day too. Isn't that a great feeling when you've had a really productive day? Well, let's have more of them with this tip. Drum roll, please. So here it is. Step 1. The last task of your workday is to create your to-do list for the next day. That's just step 1. Maybe in the future, I'll do an episode on building your calendar, but a key component of your to-do list will be tasks that move you closer to achieving your goals. If those tasks aren't a priority for you, or you haven't gained clarity on what those tasks are, you're wasting a lot of time. So create your list for the next day. Step 2, prioritize the tasks. Out of everything you wrote down, what's the most important that needs your attention? If you say, they're all important. Yeah, I get that. But what's the most important? What's number 1? What's number 2? Then number 3, etc., until you've gone down your list. Then finally, step 3. The next day, you take a look at your list and you hone in on number 1. Work away on that one. Don't go to number 2 until you finish number 1. Will there be emergencies that come up that you have to deal with? Sure, it's called life. Will you get interrupted? Even sometimes when you set aside time for your deep work, a call might come through that you deem to be really important. Maybe you've been waiting for it for days. Chances are you're going to jump on that call. Here's another benefit. After that call, after the interruption, you can jump back into where you were quicker and easier because you know what you need to do. It's laid out in front of you. Once you've completed number 1, then and only then do you go on to number 2. And even if you don't get through your whole to-do list in a day, you know that you've accomplished the most important things. And that, my friend, feels pretty damn awesome, right? And here's the thing. The item or items at the top of the list are the ones that you've likely been procrastinating about or aren't thrilled about doing, but you've determined that they need to get done. By writing them down the night before, you've committed to them. At least, I'm going to assume that you're the type of person who stands in integrity. If you've made a commitment to yourself or someone else, you follow through. You can be counted on. Your word is law, period. And I promise you, after you complete a task that you've been putting off, but you know you've needed to do, there's such a great feeling of accomplishment. It'll spur you on to continue with the system. If you agree that this idea is something that'll help you, give it a try. And at the end of the week, let me know how it's worked for you. The reason why we can hear a good idea, but not act on it, is that because we are creatures of habit. We have set habit patterns that guide our behavior each and every day. From the time you get out of bed, what you eat for breakfast, how you spend your time, the type of people you hang out with, it's all habits. A habit is something you do automatically without giving it any conscious thought. You drive your vehicle now on ideas fixed in your subconscious mind. Think back to when you first learned to drive. It was awkward. Every bit of attention, conscious attention, was required to drive the vehicle. But now, because of repetition, you've done it so many times, you jump in the vehicle, you may be thinking about where you're going, but not how you're actually driving. As you come upon a red light, you don't stop and think, oh, it's a red light, I have to put my foot on the brake. You've literally programmed your body to drive the vehicle. Same principles apply when you learn how to ride a bike or a skateboard or anything. There's a walk that I often take along what's called the seawall, and it was my intention this particular morning to jump on the public transit system, the SkyTrain, to get to where I was going. But to get to the SkyTrain, I have to walk in part along the same stretch of seawall where I normally walk. And at one point I realized I had walked well beyond the SkyTrain because that walk was my habit. That's what I had programmed myself to do. My conscious mind was lost in thought, thinking of all sorts of things. So my body just kept doing its thing, walking along the seawall until I realized I had walked way past the SkyTrain station. I share this with you because even if you agree that writing out what you need to do and prioritizing it and then working on the number one priority and not going to the second until you finish the first, even if all that makes sense to you and you think it's a great idea, you've programmed your body and mind with different habit patterns. So you'll need reminders, you'll need coaxing to get yourself to do it. Leave reminders out for yourself around your home where you'll see them, like a Post-it note on the refrigerator door or the bathroom mirror. Putting a reminder in your phone is okay, but it can get lost in all the other reminders. I find the paper note stands out more. I pay attention to it. If we truly want to live our best life, we must take control over our thinking, because the results that we have in our life right now, our happiness, our health, our wealth, are because of past actions, choices. Those have been driven by the way we think. So if we want to affect change in our external world, the money in our bank account, where we're living, who we're hanging out with, it begins with a change in our mind. And understanding how that change occurs so that we're much better prepared to push through when our old habit patterns are keeping us locked into our old, no longer desired results. I've often said our external world is merely a reflection of our internal reality. So if we want to change something on the outside, a change needs to occur first on the inside. And that's something I've been teaching people how to do in places around the world for well over 30 years. To become better skilled at changing habits, creating a prosperity mindset, and having more great things show up in your life, you'll want to check out my training at turnyourthoughtstothings.com. I call it that because your thoughts drive your actions, your behavior, which produces a result. For example, your thoughts might cause you to jump at an opportunity or cause you to back off and take a pass. Or sometimes you might miss an opportunity altogether because you just don't see it. It's not part of your mindset. So let's use this mind-body connection that we have deliberately, consciously to reach our goals, to turn our thoughts into wanted things. The program includes over 12 content-rich videos and course materials, including the Money Beliefs Questionnaire that can be very revealing. Check it out at turnyourthoughtstothings.com, and we'll also have the link in our show notes that you'll find at our website, sidehustlehero.com. Well, that's a wrap for today. If you're enjoying what you're hearing in this podcast, I would be so grateful if you would take a moment and leave a 5-star review at the platform where you're listening to let others know that there's valuable content here to help them start or grow their side hustle. Thank you so much. And thanks for listening, and hustle on.